Union Minister Nitin Gadkari on Wednesday said that the government will introduce a FASTag-based annual pass for private vehicles priced at 3,000 rupees effective from August 15th. This is a step towards hassle-free highway travel. The pass will be valid for 1 year from the date of activation or up to 200 trips, whichever comes first. The pass is designed exclusively for non-commercial private vehicles such as cars, jeeps and vans. For the longest time, Nissan in India has been a one-car OEM with the Magnite holding fort. Rival companies have moved forward with a plethora of options across segments and powertrains. Nissan already confirmed that it is looking to launch 3 ICE cars in the next 18 to 24 months, with an MPV making its debut in the next 6 months. But when asked about its EV and hybrid plans in an exclusive interaction, Nissan CEO Ivan Espinosa said that they are observing the hybrid and EV market in India closely and will decide on launching an electrified vehicle in the future. So, no EV from Nissan in the immediate future. In a huge development for KTM, a regional court in Austria has officially confirmed the restructuring plans for KTM AG. The confirmation comes after the expiration of the mandatory 2-week appeal period, making the formal conclusion of the restructuring process for KTM AG. The restructuring affects multiple key arms of KTM Group, including its co-manufacturing components and R&D divisions. The Austrian company will look to ramp up production from the end of July 2025. Hyundai Motor India has announced the commencement of operations at its Talegaon manufacturing facility in Maharashtra. This facility will be used to manufacture powertrain and vehicles, with the automaker initiating the process with the production of engines first. This is to be followed with the production of vehicles soon. In 2023, Hyundai Motor India finalized an agreement with General Motors to take over latter's Talegaon manufacturing plant. Railways Minister Ashwini Vaishnav recently inaugurated the country's largest automobile multimodal cargo terminal at Maruti Suzuki India's plant in Manesar, Haryana. The new Gati Shakti cargo terminal significantly enhances the logistics efficiency of automobile transportation. The construction of this 10-kilometer link involved an investment of 800 crores, with the Haryana government contributing 684 crores and the remaining amount was funded by Maruti Suzuki. The loading capacity of this Gati Shakti cargo terminal is one of the highest in India at 4.5 lakh automobiles per annum. For full details on all stories, log on to NDTV Auto.
VF7 spans over 4.5 meters in length. Presumably, this will take on the likes of Harrier EV and the Mahindra XEV 9e. The wheelbase stands at 2840 millimeters. But then the face is what I like. It's quite unique. It's curvy. But then the elements here look fresh. It's quite different from what we are used to seeing in India. Projector beams, a massive LED light strip on top. Over to the sides, 19-inch alloy wheels. Right from the C-pillar to the tailgate, this design has some influence from BMW and Range Rover in my books. This is an electronically openable tailgate, and boot space you get over 500 liters, precisely 537 liters of cargo volume you get here. Let's hop inside and tell you more about the cabin, the features, and then the drive. If you take a closer look, this driver's perch is quite focused. ये 12.9 इंच का जो स्क्रीन दिया गया है, this is slightly tilted towards me. The steering wheel is little small to my liking, gets all the controls buttons out here for ADAS, music and all. You have this wireless charging pad. There's plenty of small cubby holes here and there. You can place your phone here. दो charging ports दिए गए हैं. These are however not C-type, E-type charging ports दिए गए हैं. You don't get too many physical buttons here. मैक्सिमम चीजों के लिए आपको यही 12.9 इंच का स्क्रीन यूज करना पड़ेगा. The only buttons you get in the cabin are these 4 buttons. यहाँ पे आपको वही पार्किंग, ड्राइव मोड चेंज, रिवर्स, न्यूट्रल और ड्राइव के लिए मिल जाएगा. Now 2840 millimeter of wheelbase, which means I will never have any problem whatsoever moving around my leg. In fact, I can stretch to a point where I can sleep comfortably here. The headroom will also be not of any difficulty if you are till 6'2" or maybe 6'3". Even tall people will find it comfortable. Very airy cabin. Already 2-zone AC मिलता है. पीछे के passengers can enjoy the rear AC vents. यहाँ से आप विंड डायरेक्शन कंट्रोल कर सकते हैं। देयर आर 3 चार्जिंग पॉइंट्स और यहाँ पे आपको एक सी टाइप का 90 वॉट का चार्जर मिल जाएगा। गुड अमाउंट ऑफ स्टोरेज स्पेस, हाउएवर जो बॉटल होल्डर्स हैं ये थोड़े से छोटे आपको महसूस होंगे, बट ओवरऑल आई थिंक इट्स अ वेरी नीट एंड टाइटली फिनिश्ड कैबिन। VF7 is essentially a competitor to the likes of upcoming Harrier EV and the Mahindra XEV 9e. This car is much larger in footprint than the VF6. The battery pack is somewhat bigger than the VF6 and it measures over 70 kWh। इस गाड़ी के साथ आपको both front wheel drive, all wheel drive options मिल जाएंगे। ड्राइविंग सीट से व्यू काफी कमांडिंग है। ए पिलर हालांकि थोड़े से ज्यादा चौड़े हैं, सो आपको शायद टर्निंग या फिर गलियों में मोड़ने में थोड़ा सा इंट्रूसिव लग सकता है। स्टीयरिंग का जो हेफ्ट है दैट इज नाइस, स्पेशली फॉर द बल्क ऑफ द कार। गाड़ी की जो यहाँ पे वॉल्यूम है उस हिसाब से स्टीयरिंग का यहाँ पे रिस्पॉन्स मुझे ठीक ठाक लग रहा है। आखिर में बात कर लेते हैं रेंज को लेके। 70 किलोवाट आवर से थोड़ा सा अधिक का बैटरी पैक दिया गया है फ्रंट व्हील ड्राइव सेटअप में। रियल रेंज जो है आप कहीं भी 420 से 450 किलोमीटर मान के चल सकते हैं, जबकि क्लेम फिगर 500 के ऊपर है। और वहीं जो इसका ऑल व्हील ड्राइव सेटअप है, स्पोर्टी सेटअप है, वहां पे आप लगभग 320 से 350 मान के चलिए, जबकि जो क्लेम फिगर है वो लगभग 450 का है। अब इस गाड़ी को भारत में असेंबल किया जाएगा सीकेडी या फिर एसकेडी रूट से। इसे विनफास्ट के भारतीय प्लांट में इसे असेंबल करके भारतीय बाजार में बेचा जाएगा। एक्सपेक्ट दिस कार टू अराइव एट आवर शोज बाय द मंथ ऑफ अगस्त एंड सितंबर, जबकि डिलीवरी फुल फ्लेजेड अक्टूबर या नवंबर के महीने में शुरू हो जानी चाहिए। कीमतों की बात करें तो मेरा अनुमान है लगभग 28 से 30 लाख रुपए के बजट में इसका फ्रंट व्हील ड्राइव वेरिएंट आने वाला है, जबकि जो इसका ऑल व्हील ड्राइव वेरिएंट है वो लगभग 32 से 34 लाख की कीमत पे आ सकता है।
Honda Amaze या मारुति सुजुकी डिजायर, कौन सी गाड़ी है बेहतर? Now this is a confusion everyone who's planning to buy a compact sedan is dealing with. And to help you out, I'm here, your host Mohit Bhardwaj. Honda Amaze का डिजाइन थोड़ा ज्यादा मैच्योर दिखाई देता है thanks to car makers new design language. The Dzire on the other hand sports an Audi-like grille and tri-arrow LED tail lamp. In my honest opinion, it's the Dzire that looks more proportionate and sporty. दोनों ही गाड़ियों में 15 इंच के डायमंड कट अलॉय व्हील्स का इस्तेमाल किया गया है। डायमेंशंस भी दोनों के largely identical ही हैं, except for the Dzire being 25 mm taller than the Amaze. But Amaze makes up for this difference with its higher 170 mm of ground clearance against Desire's 163 mm. The Dzire gets a larger touchscreen between the two and it comes with a more sophisticated sound system. हालांकि दोनों ही गाड़ियों में आपको एक 4 स्पीकर 2 tweeter सेटअप मिल जाता है. While the Dzire comes with a sunroof, it misses out on a modern instrument cluster. It gets analog dials with a small MID. यहाँ आपको ट्रेडिशनल मारुति सुजुकी बटन्स और स्टीयरिंग व्हील मिल जाता है, जो कि दूसरी मारुति की गाड़ियों की भी याद दिलाते हैं। Amaze, its dashboard looks more purposeful and distinctive. However, my favorite bit here remains this steering wheel. It comes off straight from the city. Also, Amaze gets a part digital and part analog instrument cluster. In terms of rear seat legroom and under thigh support, it's the Amaze that scores higher marks. In fact, यहाँ पर आपको 3 headrests मिलते हैं, which are not available on the Dzire. The rear seat experience feel a little more spacious on the Dzire, although the seat scope is not as wide as the Amaze, thereby not offering as much under thigh support as the Amaze. Talking of prices, the Dzire starts at rupees 6.84 lakh and goes up to 10.19 lakh rupees ex-showroom. वहीं Amaze की कीमत शुरू होती है 8,10,000 रुपए से और जाती है 11,30,000 रुपए तक. ऑटोमेटिक वेरिएंट्स की बात करी जाए तो Dzire का चीपेस्ट ऑटोमेटिक ट्रिम आ जाता है 8,34,000 रुपए का. वहीं Amaze's cheapest automatic variant will set you back by rupees 9.35 lakh. Now before I start talking about the performance and drivability, there's one important aspect to touch upon. It's safety. और इस लिहाज में यह चीज़ें थोड़ी सी ज़्यादा एक्साइटिंग हो जाती है बिकॉज डिज़ायर को मिलती है 5-star ग्लोबल एनकैप क्रैश टेस्ट रेटिंग, जबकि अमेज की ग्लोबल एनकैप रेटिंग्स आनी अभी बाकी है. अंडर द हुड बोथ ऑफ दीज कार्स गेट 1.2 लीटर इंजन्स, लेकिन दोनों में एक स्टार्क डिफरेंस है. जहां अमेज को एक 4 सिलेंडर इंजन मिलता है, डिज़ायर हैज़ नाउ मूव्ड टू अ 3 सिलेंडर लेआउट. दोनों ही नेचुरली एस्पिरेटेड यूनिट हैं और अमेज में आपको 90 हॉर्स पावर का पीक आउटपुट मिलता है, वहीं डिज़ायर टॉप्स आउट एट अराउंड 82 हॉर्सेस. On paper, it's the Amaze that sounds more powerful, but in the real world conditions, I found the Dzire to be little more brisky. But the Amaze is inherently more quiet and more refined because of its 4-cylinder architecture. Dzire में आपको ज़्यादा माइलेज मिल जाता है for both automatic and manual trims, जो कि लगभग 25 किलोमीटर प्रति लीटर के आसपास क्लेम किया जाता है. वहीं अमेज में ये फिगर घट के 19 किलोमीटर प्रति लीटर हो जाता है. So which one should you buy? Well, going by the sales figure, the Maruti Suzuki Dzire is a clear winner. But I'll say that if you want a car that is not a common sight on the road, in fact it looks a little more premium than its rival, comes with a 4-cylinder engine and wears a Honda badge, it has to be the Amaze. But if you want a car that offers better mileage, smarter interior and better resale value along with Maruti Suzuki's trusted and reliable after-sales service network, it has to be the Dzire. With all of it being said, I still feel that sales tally do define why the Dzire is a clear winner here.
Hello and welcome to NDTV Auto. We are in Jakarta, Indonesia to cover the 12th race of 11th season of Formula E. I have Mr. Jeff with me. He is the CEO of Formula E. Thank you so much for your time, sir.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
Sir, you have announced the schedule for season 12.
Yep.
And we see few new cities coming in.
Yep.
Well, coming to the Indian market, you had a Hyderabad EP a few years back. What's the current state of it, and do you explore India as your potential location?
So look, we've made no secret to the fact we would love to race in India. We had the Hyderabad E-Prix. We were hoping to return to Hyderabad for this year. Unfortunately, the agreement didn't go through as we'd hoped. So currently no race there. We continue to talk to Indian authorities about bringing a race back. We would love to be racing in India. We have a very strong connection with India in this race series. So we have Mahindra, one of the race teams. We've got TCS, Jaguar, and Kushmani will be racing. Jahan's raced previously. Kushmani was in the last rookie session. I believe he may be at the rookie session coming up in Berlin as well. So very strong connection with India, and therefore, we'd be really keen to come back and race there in the future.
How big do you see the Indian market, the potential of it, and when do we see Formula E coming back?
Look, it's a massive market in terms of market potential because the population is huge. We consider it as a core market for us. If you looked at every strategic presentation I've made to my board or to investors over the last 2 years, India is always on there as a calendar target for us. That means having the right relationships in India, finding the right location to race in India. We'd love to come back to India, but we'd love to come back on an enduring basis. We don't want to come back for one season. We'd love to come back and build the sport in India for the next 5 to 10 years. So that's the conversations we're having. As you know, because we talked about some of our big Indian partners here, whether it's Infosys or Mahindra or TCS, they're keen for us to be back racing in India. They have a deep relationship with us, so we're trying to make it happen. So it's not for the want of trying. We're definitely trying to find the right route back in for a long-term relationship in India.
Well, thank you so much, Jeff.
My pleasure. Thank you. Absolute pleasure to meet you. Thank you.
We have been hearing this, that India is a very important market, and when the ARC plan was announced, then too India was mentioned specifically. But my question is, if India is so important, then what was the reason for you to sell stake in the manufacturing plant to your partner Renault?
It was simply a rebalancing on our share structure, but the priority of India hasn't changed. We have, as I said, a very good relationship with our partner Renault. We have secured the product pipeline, and we have capacity that we have agreed with Renault. So we are in India for India to stay in the future with us, and we are committed and sure that we will be delivering exciting cars to the Indian consumers.
Ivan, I want to ask you this a little bit, maybe bluntly. See, from where we stand, when we see Nissan in India, first of all, your product portfolio is limited to say the least. And it has been like that now for not 1 year, it's many years now that it has been like that. Then the products that you are bringing in, your partner Renault is also working on the same kind of projects. So how do Indian customers believe in your identity? What does Nissan stand for in India? If a person is in the market, maybe even when you launch your new products, right now you have only one product, but when you launch new product, then too, they have the same option with your partner. So where does Nissan stand? What is it that Nissan brings to the table?
Yeah, well, we will very quickly move from a 1 or 2 product company to a 5 product company in India. And these products, as I said, will be segment leading. These are products that were designed by Nissan designers and worked upon with the planning team in Japan. So these products are delivering what Nissan stands for. Of course, there's a partnership that we are working with Renault. Products are engineered together in the R&T-BCI center. So these are products that are co-engineered in the center and produced in RNA IPL. So it's a fruit of the alliance, and it's, I think, a very good symbol of how we can collaborate within the alliance to provide value to our customers while we protect our identity. Good example is Magnite. So Magnite is also a fruit of the alliance, and it's a car that is full of its own identity, and it's a very successful product that describes very well the attributes of Nissan, because we take a lot of care on making sure that the Nissan attributes are protected in every single product that Nissan does. Either it's engineered in Nissan or it's engineered together with a partner, like it's the case of the products that we will be launching in India in the near future.
Now, let's talk about one of these products is EV as well, as we understand.
Well, these vehicles that I was referring to are not EVs. These vehicles are coming before that. And of course, we are revisiting our portfolio for the long term to see how we bring some exciting electrified vehicles to the Indian market later on.
So are you planning to get India-specific EV, or because you have EV products in your portfolio, that's something that you're planning to bring?
No, we're analyzing options. As you know, in our lives as OEM and vehicle manufacturers, we need to look at different alternative scenarios. Mm-hmm. And of course, as you said, we have very good products already in the global portfolio, but we could be exploring also what we could be doing with the partners in India or by ourselves as well. So we have several options that we could explore and consider.
What is your investment plan in India? How much are you investing in India?
Well, we have already invested over 700 million euro in these vehicles that I was just talking about. So the commitment, as you can easily see, is very big. So we are committed to India, and the investment proves what we're saying. So we are really walking the talk, as we say.
In your strategy for India, now these products you have already decided. We have heard about them several times, but going ahead from here. What is your powertrain strategy? You said that you are evaluating EVs. Is hybrid also something that you would consider for India?
Well, we are observing the market trends, and of course, there are several options, as I was saying before. Hybrid is one of the things that we are observing very closely, together with potentially battery electric vehicles. Yeah, so we're looking at both.
With these 3 new products, what is the market size what is the market share that you would like to have? I'm not saying what would you get, but what would you like to have?
I don't have the market share in mind, but the image of volume that we are seeing with the 3 new cars is to get around 100,000 units in total. Yeah, so when you look at the numbers, it's around 100,000 units for India and 100,000 units to be exported out of India. So these are the high-level targets that we are considering for the moment.
Geopolitical tensions brewing across the world. How is that impacting business? Of course, there are many unfortunate wars happening right now. But besides that, there is also an imbalance on the trade side where different countries are coming up with different restrictions. For example, China had a rare earth magnet restriction. How is that impacting business?
Yeah, well, it's making our lives as OEMs a bit more complicated, as you highlighted. The beauty of Nissan is that we are a very global company. Our footprint is pretty wide. So we have operations in most major regions and markets across the globe. And this allows for flexibility. The other thing that helps is having partners, yeah? So we can work together with partners that, in the case we have a specific regional constraint, we can work together with partners to, build scale together. Like the case of what we're working on with Renault in India. This is a very good example of how you can leverage together with a partner to make very good competitive product and building scale together. So this is the other beauty of what Nissan has. So we have this wide coverage around the world, and we have a very reliable network of partners that we can work on together to make very competitive and exciting products. So this is a way of us coping with these regional geopolitical tensions that exist in the world today.
Thank you for watching the NDTV Auto Show. This is Mugdha Mishra signing off from Arabian Sea. See you next week.